Soldiers were moving from village to village, taking young women away by force. Any family that tried to resist was executed on the spot, and any girl who refused to go was dragged into military trucks against her will. Angel was one of those girls. Within hours, she was taken to a place more terrifying than anything she could have imagined. A place where people no longer saw them as human beings, only as something to be used. Every night, long lines of soldiers gathered outside the building, and for the girls trapped inside, darkness became a nightmare. Their screams never made it beyond those walls, because no one there cared about their pain. With each passing day, they lost a little more of themselves, their hope, their freedom, and the belief that they would ever escape. But the biggest question is, how did Angel end up in the hands of these monsters? And how did a helpless prisoner eventually become the greatest threat they had ever faced? To find out, we need to go back to where her story really began. The story begins with a young woman named Angel. We first see her emerging from a narrow passage hidden inside a wall. In fact, Angel often used these secret passageways to move around unnoticed, making sure no one paid attention to where she was going. The story takes us back to 1996. At the time, the region was being torn apart by war. Fear, violence, and destruction had become part of everyday life. And in the middle of all that chaos, there was a place where humanity had all but disappeared. It was a house where kidnapped young women were being held captive. Soldiers would arrive, hand over money, and then treat the girls in ways too cruel to imagine. The man who controlled this entire operation was Victor, a ruthless man who saw himself as the owner of everything around him. A short time later, Victor calls Angel over. Using gestures, he lets her know that a new group of girls is about to arrive, and that they need to be taught the rules of this place. Victor wanted them broken in as quickly as possible. The moment they arrived, he expected them to accept the nightmare they had been thrown into. It's here that we learn something important about Angel. She was born deaf and unable to speak. Because of this, she communicated entirely through sign language and relied on it to understand the people around her. Not long after, a truck pulls up outside. Several new girls are brought in. The fear on their faces is impossible to miss. Most of them still don't fully understand where they've been taken or what awaits them inside. Angel quietly watches as they are led into the building. Moments later, the girls are taken to their rooms, and seeing them brings back painful memories, because she had once arrived here the exact same way. She had been torn away from her family and forced into this place against her will. But Angel's fate turned out to be different from the others. She was born with a large scar on her face, and Victor believed that because of it, the soldiers would have little interest in her. So instead of treating her like the other girls, he decided to keep her close. Over time, Angel was given responsibility for many of the day-to-day tasks around the compound. She was also expected to explain the rules to every new girl who arrived, but even that was part of Victor's plan. He wanted the girls to trust Angel, because it made them easier to control. That's why Angel was forced to warn them that anyone who disobeyed the rules would face severe consequences. And just like that, the true story of this terrifying place begins to unfold. To keep the new arrivals under control, Victor ruled through fear. In fact, he once killed a girl in front of everyone, just to make it clear what would happen to anyone who disobeyed him. After witnessing that, the girls quickly realized they had no choice but to follow his rules. Around the same time, Angel is given another responsibility. She's tasked with preparing medications, which are later distributed to the new arrivals. Angel carries the pills upstairs and hands them out one by one. But these aren't ordinary medicines. They are used to keep the girls weak, exhausted, and easier to control, and in some cases, to dull the pain of what they were forced to endure. As horrifying as that sounds, the reality was even worse. Part of Angel's daily routine is looking after the girls. She helps them get ready, does their makeup, and cleans their wounds whenever they're injured. Victor rarely asks her to do anything beyond that, but that doesn't mean Angel is free. She's still a prisoner herself. Her cage simply looks different from everyone else's. A short time later, soldiers begin arriving at the compound, and once again, the nightmare every girl fears starts all over again. Meanwhile, Angel sits alone in her room. Moments like these often force her to relive the past. She finds herself thinking about her family. There was a time when she lived a normal life with her mother and sister. Even though she couldn't hear or speak, she still had a home, a family, and most importantly, a life where she felt safe. But the war took all of that away. Angel remembers the day soldiers attacked her village. The assault was led by a man named Goran, a ruthless commander who had no regard for human life. The moment his men entered the village, chaos followed. Many innocent people were killed where they stood. Angel's mother was one of the victims. Right before her eyes, everything she loved was torn apart, and the worst part was what happened to her sister. The soldiers took her away to another location, and from that day on, Angel never saw her again. It was the moment that changed her life forever. Later, after the soldiers leave the compound, Angel goes from room to room as she always does. She cleans up the mess they leave behind, treats the girls' injuries, and helps however she can. Many of them beg her for help. You can still see hope in their eyes, but Angel is trapped just like they are. No matter how badly she wants to help them, she has no way of getting them out. Then her attention falls on one particular girl. Her condition is worse than everyone else's. One of the soldiers had beaten her badly. The bruises covering her body are impossible to ignore, and for a moment, Angel simply stands there looking at her, because in that girl's pain, she sees a reflection of her own. Angel kneels beside the injured girl. For a moment, it looks as though she might still be alive. Holding on to that small hope, Angel begins cleaning her wounds. She carefully wipes the blood from her hands and legs, doing everything she can to help. But before long, one of Victor's men walks in. Through a few cold gestures, he lets Angel know that it's already too late. The girl is dead. Angel stares at her for a moment, yet no one else seems to care. Without a second thought, Victor's man drags the body away and dumps it somewhere in the woods. In this place, human life had become so worthless that even death barely earned a reaction. A short time later, Victor receives word that more soldiers are on their way. He immediately calls for Angel. Victor orders her to get all the girls ready as quickly as possible. His new guests will be arriving soon. As always, Angel quietly obeys. She takes the medication upstairs and begins preparing the girls. That's when she meets one of the new arrivals. Her name is Vanya. Like everyone else, Vanya is frightened. But unlike the others, she keeps watching Angel closely. A few moments later, she asks for Angel's name. Angel can't answer, not because she doesn't want to, but because she can't speak. At first, Vanya seems confused. Then, to Angel's surprise, she begins communicating through sign language. The moment Angel understands her gestures, she freezes. For the first time since arriving here, she's speaking to someone who understands her language. In a place filled with fear, pain, and hopelessness, it feels like the first genuine human connection she's had in years. And from that moment on, an unspoken bond begins to form between them. There is something different about Vanya, maybe because after so long, someone is finally able to understand her. Later, after the soldiers leave, Angel returns to the girls' rooms as part of her usual routine. She cleans their wounds, straightens the rooms, and does her best to erase the evidence of another terrible night. As she works, old memories begin resurfacing. She remembers the day Victor first brought her here. It was Victor who gave her the name Angel. He told her that her job would be to look after the other girls. Whenever new arrivals came, she would be responsible for helping them adjust. But that was only part of the truth, because Victor had exploited her as well. He liked to present himself as her protector, when in reality, he was no different from the rest of the people running this nightmare. A little later, Angel checks on Vanya. She finds her sitting alone, quietly crying. Her eyes are filled with tears. Seeing her like this immediately brings Angel to a stop. Using sign language, she gently starts a conversation. As they talk, Angel asks how she learned to communicate that way. Vanya explains that her father was deaf. Because of that, she learned sign language at a young age. That's why she's able to understand Angel so easily. A moment later, Angel asks about her father. The question instantly changes Vanya's expression. Her eyes begin to fill with tears again. After a long pause, she reveals that her father is no longer alive, and the pain on her face says more than words ever could. Slowly, Vanya begins telling Angel her story. She explains that her father was killed by soldiers. Just like Angel, she had lost her family to the war. Maybe that's why the two of them understood each other's pain so well. A little later, Angel prepares to leave, but before she goes, Vanya asks if she'll come back. Angel gives her a small smile and assures her through sign language that she will. In a place filled with fear and suffering, a genuine friendship had begun to grow between them. That night, after everyone else has gone to sleep, Angel secretly uses the hidden passageways inside the walls. Without being seen, she makes her way to Vanya's room. This time, she has brought something with her, a few biscuits. It isn't much, but for Vanya, it's a small reminder of the life she once had. She happily accepts them, and before long, the two are sitting together, talking late into the night. During their conversation, Vanya asks whether Angel had been deaf and unable to speak since birth. Angel explains that she has lived that way her entire life. Vanya then asks about her family. The question immediately wipes the smile from Angel's face. Through sign language, she explains that soldiers killed her family during the war, and to this day, she still doesn't know what happened to her sister, whether she's alive somewhere or suffered the same fate as so many others. Even after all this time, the pain is still there. A moment later, Vanya notices the necklace around Angel's neck. Hanging from it is a small angel-shaped charm. Vanya smiles and tells her it's beautiful. Angel explains that it was a gift from her mother. She used to tell Angel that as long as she wore it, she would never truly be alone, and that somehow it would always protect her. The memory leaves Angel visibly emotional, but before the moment can last, she hears something. Footsteps. Someone is coming. Angel instantly becomes alert. She knows that if they're caught together, both of them could be punished. So without wasting a second, she slips back into the hidden passageway and quietly returns to her room. A short time later, one of Victor's men stops by to check on the girls. Fortunately, he doesn't notice anything unusual. The next day, life at the compound returns to its grim routine. Once again, soldiers begin arriving, and once again, Angel is forced to prepare the girls. When she reaches Vanya's room, Vanya asks her a question. She wants to know whether the medication Angel hands out actually helps. Angel explains that the drugs can't erase the pain completely, but they can make it a little easier to endure. And for many of the girls trapped there, that small amount of relief is often the only thing helping them get through another day. After finishing her work, Angel quietly moves on to the next room. A short time later, Angel glances toward the window. Carefully, she looks outside, and the moment she sees what's happening, her heart sinks. The soldier who had entered Vanya's room is treating her with shocking brutality. There is nothing human in his actions, only cruelty, only rage. Angel wants to help, but there is nothing she can do. All she can do is watch, and somehow, this feels even worse than before, because Vanya is no longer just another girl trapped in this place. She has become Angel's closest friend. Sometime later, the soldier finally leaves. Angel rushes to Vanya's room. The moment she sees her, the color drains from her face. Vanya is in terrible condition. She's barely able to move, and it's obvious she has been through something horrific. Angel immediately goes to get Victor. She does everything she can to explain how serious the situation is, but Victor doesn't look concerned at all. Instead, he coldly explains that the soldier responsible pays more than anyone else, and because of that, he's allowed to do whatever he wants. In that moment, it becomes painfully clear that Victor values money far more than the lives of the girls under his control. Eventually, Vanya's condition becomes serious enough that a doctor is called in. The moment he examines her, frustration spreads across his face. He warns Victor that if this continues, the girls won't survive. What is happening to them is wrong, but Victor refuses to listen. Instead, he warns the doctor to focus on his job and stop asking questions. And if he doesn't, his wife may not remain safe either. The threat works immediately. The doctor falls silent because he knows Victor is more than capable of carrying it out. It's here that we realize the doctor isn't a cruel man. He genuinely wants to help the girls, but he's trapped by fear and the need to protect his family. In the end, he treats Vanya as best he can, then leaves with a heavy heart. That night, Angel once again uses the hidden passageways to reach Vanya's room. Seeing her friend in that condition is heartbreaking. Without saying a word, Angel removes the necklace from around her neck. The same necklace her mother gave her years ago. The last piece of her she still has. Gently, she places it in Vanya's hand. Through sign language, she tells her that it will protect her. It's the first time Angel has ever given her most treasured possession to someone else. But then she hears something. Footsteps approaching the room. Angel instantly tenses. A second later, she slips back into the hidden passageway and disappears from sight. Moments later, Victor enters. His eyes scan the room, but he doesn't notice anything unusual. Assuming Angel is alone, he steps closer. Then, with a strange smile on his face, he tells her to come with him. According to Victor, he has something very special waiting for her, but judging by the look in his eyes, it's clear that whatever he has planned is anything but good. Victor sits down across from Angel. Then he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a small key, and places it in her hand. With a smile on his face, he tells her that it's the key to her freedom. According to him, she can leave this place whenever she wants. After that, he starts talking as if he genuinely cares about her. Victor claims that he loves her. He says that soon he'll have enough money for the two of them to leave everything behind and start a new life somewhere far away. But Angel doesn't believe a single word. She knows exactly who he's pretending to be. This is the same man who has destroyed countless lives, and to her, his promises sound like nothing more than another lie. Angel has been watching Victor for a long time. She understands better than anyone that the man he pretends to be and the man he truly is are two very different people. Everything he's saying is just another attempt to keep Vanya under his control. The following morning, Angel returns to her usual routine. She moves from room to room, cleaning wounds, caring for the girls, and doing whatever she can to help them. But when she reaches Vanya's room, she immediately notices something is wrong. Vanya looks even worse than before. She's struggling just to sit upright, and the pain in her eyes is impossible to miss. Through sign language, Vanya admits that she can barely endure it anymore. Then she tells Angel about a dream she had. A dream where every girl trapped in this place had finally been set free. There were no soldiers, no fear, no one controlling their lives. For a brief moment, everyone was free to live however they wanted. But dreams don't last forever, and the moment she woke up, she found herself right back in the same nightmare. Sadly, Vanya admits that maybe freedom will never come. After a long silence, she looks directly at Angel. Tears begin forming in her eyes. Then she confesses something that immediately breaks Angel's heart. She doesn't want to die. The moment Angel understands those words, her expression changes. She quickly grabs Vanya's hand, and through sign language, she makes her a promise. No matter what happens, she won't let her face it alone. She'll stay by her side. Seeing Vanya in this condition is tearing Angel apart inside, but she hides those emotions and forces herself to stay strong. A little later, she leaves the room. Not long after, Victor shows up once again. As usual, he's in a hurry. More guests are expected to arrive soon, and he wants everything ready. While helping prepare the supplies, Angel notices a syringe nearby. Without drawing attention to herself, she quietly slips it into her pocket. At the time, no one thinks anything of it. A while later, the new visitors finally arrive, but the moment Angel sees one of them, she freezes. Her eyes widen in shock, because the man walking through the door is Goran, the very same Goran who attacked her village years ago, the same man responsible for her mother's death, the same man whose actions destroyed her family and changed her life forever. Suddenly, all of those painful memories come rushing back. For the first time in years, Angel is standing face to face with the man she hates more than anyone else. Meanwhile, Goran has no idea who she is. He walks right past her without a second glance, completely unaware that the quiet woman standing before him has spent years carrying the scars he helped create. And from that moment on, the story begins moving toward a far more dangerous chapter. Victor personally welcomes Goran and his men. A polite smile sits on his face, but beneath it, he's clearly being careful. He tells Goran that everything is ready, and that none of his guests will have any reason to complain tonight. A moment later, Goran gestures toward one of the men standing beside him. It's his brother. With obvious pride, Goran explains that his brother is about to receive a major promotion, and that's exactly why they've come here, to celebrate. Victor congratulates them and invites everyone upstairs. Before long, the soldiers begin spreading out toward the different rooms. Meanwhile, Angel watches everything from a distance, but there's only one person she can't take her eyes off: Goran. Just seeing him again brings back memories she spent years trying to bury. She remembers her mother's face, the gunfire that echoed through her village, the day her family was torn apart, and standing at the center of those memories was Goran, the man responsible for it all. The longer she looks at him, the stronger her hatred becomes. At the same time, Goran's men have already begun entering the girls' rooms. Once again, the compound is filled with the same atmosphere of fear every girl there has come to dread. Meanwhile, one of the soldiers enters Vanya's room. From the moment he arrives, something about him feels different, more aggressive, more dangerous. Vanya immediately tries to keep her distance. She does everything she can to stop him from coming closer, but the soldier doesn't care. Without hesitation, he locks the door behind him, and just like that, Vanya is left completely at his mercy. Elsewhere, Goran summons Victor to his office. The moment he enters, Goran casually drops into Victor's chair, as if he's reminding him who really holds the power. Then the questions begin. Goran suspects that information about some of the soldiers visiting the compound may be leaking out. Victor immediately denies it. He insists that nothing unusual is happening, but Goran doesn't seem convinced. Then he brings up something else, something Victor clearly doesn't want to hear. Goran announces that he wants a share of the business. From now on, he expects a cut of everything this place earns. The smile instantly disappears from Victor's face, but he knows better than to argue, not with a man like Goran. A short time later, Goran leaves the office, and as soon as he's gone, Victor quietly places a pistol within reach. For the first time, even he can sense that things are becoming dangerous. Meanwhile, Angel hasn't stopped watching Vanya's room. From a nearby window, she can see exactly what's happening inside, and what she sees makes her blood boil. Vanya looks completely helpless, while the soldier continues treating her with shocking cruelty. This time, Angel can't stand by and watch. For years, she's endured pain in silence, but today, something changes. For the first time, her anger becomes stronger than her fear. Without hesitation, she slips into one of the hidden passageways, grabs a knife lying nearby, and heads straight for Vanya's room. Seconds later, she's standing behind the soldier. He doesn't even have time to react. Angel attacks with everything she has. The knife rises and falls again and again. The soldier screams in pain. Blood begins pouring from his wounds. And for the first time in her life, Angel takes revenge on one of the men responsible for turning her world into a nightmare. And with that single act, the most dangerous chapter of her story finally begins. Angel may have attacked the soldier, but the moment she turns toward Vanya, her heart sinks. She wanted to save her. She wanted to get her out of this place, but she's already too late. Vanya lies completely still. There is no movement, no response. After everything she had endured, her body could take no more. Vanya is gone. For a moment, Angel simply stands there in shock. The one person who had brought light into this nightmare has been taken from her too. The loss hits harder than anything she's felt in years, but then behind her, she hears movement. The wounded soldier is still alive. Using the last of his strength, he tries to fight back. Angel spins around, and this time, she doesn't hesitate. Years of pain, years of anger, years of helplessness finally erupt all at once. She keeps attacking until the struggle ends. Moments later, the soldier collapses, and for the first time in her life, Angel has taken the life of one of the men who helped destroy countless others. Outside the room, the other soldiers are already trying to get in. The door has been locked from the inside. When nobody answers, they force it open. Weapons raised, they rush inside, but the scene waiting for them leaves everyone stunned. Their fellow soldier is dead. Vanya is gone as well, yet Angel is nowhere to be seen. For several seconds, nobody can make sense of what happened. Then Goran notices something unusual. A faint sound echoes from behind the walls. Immediately, he realizes there must be hidden passageways running through the building, and somewhere inside them, Angel is hiding. Without wasting a second, Goran orders his men to search every corner of the compound, because Angel is no longer just another captive girl. Now she's killed one of their own. Not long afterward, Victor arrives and sees the chaos for himself. The moment Goran spots him, his temper explodes. One of his soldiers is dead, and in his eyes, Victor is responsible. Victor quickly tries to defend himself. He insists he never imagined Angel would do something like this. He even points out that he has lost one of the girls as well, but Goran couldn't care less. To him, people are nothing more than tools. In a fit of rage, he suddenly turns toward another terrified girl nearby and shoots her without warning. 1 second she's alive. The next, she's lying motionless on the floor. The gunshot sends fear through everyone in the room. The remaining girls are left frozen in terror. Then Goran turns back to Victor, and this time, his threat is crystal clear. If Angel isn't found soon, he'll kill every girl in the building. And after that, he'll destroy Victor's entire operation as well. For the first time, Victor's confidence completely disappears. As panic spreads through the compound, a full-scale search begins. Soldiers tear through the building. They fire into walls, search hidden spaces, and dismantle anything that looks suspicious. They're hoping the pressure will eventually force Angel out of hiding. But Angel has spent years learning every secret passage inside the compound. She's hiding in places the soldiers don't even know exist. For now, she's safe, but she also understands something important. She can't stay hidden forever. Sooner or later, Goran and his men will find her, and when they do, they won't let her leave alive. Realizing that time is running out, Angel finally makes a decision. Instead of waiting to be found, she prepares to leave her hiding place and make the next move herself. The moment Angel emerges from her hiding place, one of Victor's men spots her. Before she can react, he grabs her by the throat. His intentions are obvious. He isn't trying to capture her, he's trying to kill her. For a few terrifying seconds, it looks like Angel has nowhere to go, but then she remembers something. The syringe she secretly took earlier. Using the last of her strength, she pulls it from her pocket and plunges it into the man's leg. Within moments, the drug begins taking effect. His body starts to weaken, his grip loosens, and seconds later, he collapses to the ground. Angel doesn't waste the opportunity. She immediately disappears back into the hidden passageways. When Goran learns what happened, he completely loses his temper. In a fit of rage, he smashes part of the wall apart and sends one of his soldiers inside. But Angel knows those tunnels better than anyone. As the soldier closes in, she slips away at the perfect moment. The man loses his footing, falls through the narrow passage, and is killed instantly. Watching another one of his men die only fuels Goran's anger. At this point, the search is no longer about finding Angel. It's become a hunt. Goran orders his men to bring out heavier weapons. Moments later, equipment is unloaded from the vehicles outside. Then they begin filling the passageways with smoke, hoping to force Angel into the open. Slowly, the entire compound starts disappearing beneath a thick cloud. But amid the chaos, Another game begins. Seeing an opportunity, Victor suddenly shoots one of Goran's soldiers. Then he immediately points the blame elsewhere. According to him, Angel somehow got hold of a weapon, attacked the soldier, and escaped again. It is a desperate attempt to shift Goran's attention. For a moment, it almost works. But then Goran spots something in the distance. Angel. She's running toward the forest as fast as she can. Instantly, Goran, his men, and Victor all take off after her. Angel sprints through the trees, doing everything she can to stay ahead. Then suddenly, her foot catches on something hidden beneath the ground. She loses her balance and crashes hard. As she struggles to get back up, her eyes widen in horror. Bodies, dozens of them, scattered throughout the area. These are the remains of girls who once lived in the compound. Girls who had been used, discarded, and forgotten. For the first time, Angel fully understands what her own fate would have been. If she had stayed there any longer, one day she would have ended up exactly the same. Not long afterward, Victor finds her. Instead of attacking, he changes tactics. He pretends to be her friend, her protector. He tells her that he loves her, that he would never hurt her, and that if she trusts him, he can still help her. After years of manipulation, Angel hesitates, just for a moment. Then she slowly hands over her knife. But the second Victor gets what he wants, his mask falls away. The kindness disappears, and his true face returns. He begins beating her mercilessly. Furious, he blames her for everything that's happened. The deaths, the chaos, the damage to his operation. At this point, he doesn't care about Angel at all. All he cares about is the empire he's watching collapse around him. Then Goran finally catches up. He orders Victor to hand Angel over, but Victor has no intention of backing down. He makes it clear that Goran will get nothing unless he stops interfering in his business. Within seconds, the argument explodes. The tension rises fast. Soon, even Goran's brother arrives at the scene. Now everyone is focused on each other. Exactly the opportunity Angel has been waiting for. She remains motionless on the ground, pretending to be completely broken. But in reality, she's watching, waiting. The moment their attention drifts away from her, she makes her move. Quietly, she reaches toward Victor, slips the knife from his pocket, and before anyone realizes what's happening, she drives the blade deep into his leg. Victor's scream echoes through the forest, and in an instant, the entire situation spirals completely out of control once again. A few seconds after Angel stabs Victor in the leg, the entire situation erupts into chaos. Victor screams in pain, and in the confusion, his gun accidentally fires, but the bullet doesn't hit Angel. Instead, it strikes Goran's brother. He collapses to the ground instantly. The soldiers rush to help him, but his condition deteriorates within moments. Watching his brother fall, Goran explodes with rage. Without hesitation, he turns his weapon on Victor and fires. The shot leaves Victor badly wounded. Only moments earlier, the two men had been negotiating with each other. Now they were spilling each other's blood. Goran immediately drops to his brother's side. He desperately tries to save him, but this time, there is nothing he can do. His only brother is dead. For the first time, the pain on Goran's face is impossible to hide. Now this is no longer about business, or control, or money. He wants Angel dead. Meanwhile, Angel uses the chaos to escape. After running for what feels like forever, she eventually reaches an isolated house, but her body has reached its limit. The moment she gets to the front door, she collapses unconscious. Sometime later, a woman living in the house discovers her. She carries Angel inside, treats her wounds, and helps her recover. When Angel finally wakes up, she finds herself in a safe room. For the first time in days, it feels like she might actually be safe, but that feeling doesn't last long. Her eyes suddenly land on a photograph nearby. The moment she sees it, her blood runs cold. The man in the picture is the same soldier she killed earlier, and standing beside him is the woman who saved her, his wife. Instantly, Angel realizes she's walked straight into another nightmare. At the same time, Goran continues searching the area. He's convinced Angel is still nearby. That's why he calls the woman and warns her. If she sees a young girl matching Angel's description, she must not help her. According to Goran, that girl is responsible for her husband's death. The news hits the woman like a lightning strike. Grief quickly turns into anger. Later, when Angel tries to leave the house, the woman blocks her path with a knife. The rage in her eyes is unmistakable. She demands answers. She wants to know why her husband was killed. Angel desperately tries to explain, but she cannot speak, and the woman has no way of understanding her. The tension between them grows with every passing second. Eventually, the confrontation turns violent, and in the struggle that follows, the woman loses her life as well. Not long afterward, Goran arrives at the house, but he's too late. All he finds is another body. Now his anger is greater than ever. Then he spots Angel running in the distance. Immediately, he takes off after her. The chase continues until Angel reaches a group of factory workers. She desperately tries to get their help, but the moment they see Goran's uniform, they back away. No one wants to stand against the military. Once again, Angel is completely alone. Then she notices a large industrial pipe nearby. With nowhere else to go, she climbs inside. Goran follows without hesitation, but there's a problem. Angel is small enough to move through the pipe with ease. Goran isn't. Halfway through, his larger body becomes wedged inside. Now he's trapped, unable to move forward, unable to go back. For the first time in his life, Goran is the helpless one. Slowly, Angel crawls back toward him. The roles have finally reversed. Years ago, Goran destroyed her family and left her powerless. Now his fate rests entirely in her hands. Standing over him, Angel wipes the blood from her hands across his face. More than an attack, it's a message, a reminder that the consequences of his actions have finally caught up with him. Furious, Goran continues shouting at her, but the fear that once lived in Angel's eyes is gone. Without saying a word, she tears a piece of cloth from her clothing and stuffs it into his mouth. Then she turns and crawls out of the pipe, because she already knows what's about to happen. Soon, the factory machines will start running, and when they do, the thick smoke filling those pipes will turn Goran's prison into his grave. Leaving Goran trapped inside the pipe, Angel finally walks away. Her body is covered in wounds. She's exhausted, barely able to keep moving. But for the first time in years, she can finally see the end of the nightmare. She keeps walking until she reaches a small village nearby. By then, she has almost no strength left. That's when she notices an elderly woman working in a field. Angel slowly approaches her, and the moment she reaches her, she breaks down in tears. After everything she has been through, it's the first time in years that she feels truly safe. Seeing the condition she's in, the woman immediately takes her inside. She cleans her wounds, gives her food, and offers her a place to rest. A short time later, we learn something surprising. The woman is actually the wife of the doctor who used to visit Victor's compound, the same doctor who wanted to help the girls, but was never able to openly stand against Victor. Unlike everyone else, he and his wife always saw Angel as more than just another victim, and now they're finally able to help her. At last, Angel is free. The nightmare that stole her family, took her childhood, and trapped her for years is finally over. She got justice for Vanya. She survived the people who believed they were untouchable, and she proved that strength doesn't always come from power or violence. Sometimes, it's the will to keep going when everything is trying to break you. And with Angel finally getting the freedom she fought so hard for, this unforgettable story comes to an end. If you enjoyed this dark and emotional movie recap, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more incredible movie stories. See you in the next one.